What's going on, everyone? Welcome to AGNBFitness. Today was leg day, and I thought I'd get some recording in. With that being said, after reviewing the footage, adding the edits, and just reviewing over what I did, I thought it would be a great opportunity to have a discussion about lower back pain, the butt wink, and squatting. One of the biggest compensations I see throughout all levels of weightlifting, athletics, personal training is the butt wink. That is when your pelvis goes from anterior tilt to posterior tilt. An example of anterior tilt is when you're essentially arching your back, pushing your pelvis back to give yourself room to find that proper depth in your squat or to deep down into your deadlift and go into a hip thrust, that type of motion. And posterior tilt is when you internally rotate your hips. As you see, when I'm going down, you can see a slight, subtle, yet sudden movement and shift in my pelvis. That's what you call a butt wink. It's not in particularly dangerous in my part because I'm strong enough to overcome it, but down the road, it'll lead to lower back pain, it'll lead to injuries, and it's just one of those things where flexibility and mobility needs to be addressed, especially if you look to increase those maxes with your squat, if you're a power lifter, if you're an athlete, or you're just a general workout warrior, weekend warrior type of guy or gal. So in order to address my butt wink, I am bringing down my squat a few percentages, and I'm going to a very low box squat. My box is set up so I can get just below parallel, almost ass to grass, but stopping a few inches above that. What I want to do is I want to develop the hamstring mobility to make sure that I have the confidence in going essentially ATG without feeling weak or without feeling as if I'm going to miss the squat. So what you're seeing here is sets of 3. I'm a naturally 500 plus squatter, so I really have to bring down to the higher 3s, lower 4s with my squat to make sure I feel comfortable. But just notice it's still subtly there. It's not perfect. It's a work in progress. It's slow. It didn't feel like it was a grinding squat, but it's not, the bar's not moving as fast as I want. But take a look and see the development, man. So my final set of 3, I believe this is 385, 380, 385. Who cares? But it's my last set of 3. Like I said, it's slow. But here I'm still trying to develop that flexibility in my hamstring so I can fully eliminate that butt wink. I really want to emphasize that if you're squatting and you're hitting depth and you're keeping your core tight and you're keeping your chest up and you're feeling tightness in the lower back, most likely you have the butt wink. It's one of those things you need to address. And you just got to keep working on it. Moving on, I'll go right into deficit RDLs. It's one of my favorite exercises because it gives me full range of motion when I'm pushing my hips back, stretching out those hamstrings, stretching out the glute. It's a game changer in my opinion if you have the flexibility. And it's one of those things, if you want full hamstring development, a stronger lower back, you should definitely give it a try. I'm keeping my core tight, I'm keeping my chest up, pushing those hips back as far as I can. And I'm supersetting that with a fairly close foot, lower foot leg press. I like to play around with my variations of leg press because you get to hit the quads and the hamstrings just from different angles. If you can get a full quad sweep, pretty impressive. I'm not there yet, but it's one of those things I really want to emphasize this winter. Going back to that RDL, just take a look. I'm squeezing my glutes at the top. If you really want to incorporate a full lower back, glute, hamstring contractions, you have to have that mind muscle connection with it. You have to squeeze at the top. You have to really feel those muscles stretch and contract. That's how you see those results, man. I get told that my butt is pretty impressive as far as its size and its strength. And it really comes from things like this, the deficit RDL, and going right back into these leg press. So check it out. So right now, I'm going into my next set of RDLs, and I'm really trying to keep the weight lighter than I usually would. I'll probably upload another video when I'm maxing out on RDL, because I really want to make sure after a squat session that I had, you never want to put too much on the lower back, because it's not. You're not trying to annihilate yourself. You really just want to make sure that you're keeping the blood flowing, getting great contractions, making sure that you're really sculpting that lower back muscle as opposed to destroying it. I mean, if you don't want to walk around here trashed for days at a time after a workout. I wanted to give you guys another angle of the leg press to let you see my range of motion here. I'm trying to get as close to my chest as possible. I'm a big proponent of full range of motion. If you don't have the flexibility or you don't have the strength to get a full range of motion on any exercise, hey, drop the weight and develop it. It only takes one bad rep to take you out, man. I definitely don't want to promote anything that's dangerous or anything that I won't personally tell you to do. I think it's irresponsible, and it's just one of those things that I always like to preach. Another thing to note, after a heavy compound movement like that squat to start off, the rest of my sets are usually 4 sets of 8 to 10, 3 sets of 10, supersets. I really want to focus on developing a heavy compound movement and then putting in a handful of accessory movements or more isolated movements at higher reps. It really works best for me. It's what I've worked for my clientele. Hey man, it's tried and true. Now I've moved on to my second superset. As you see, my feet are higher and my feet are also wider because I want to hit, like I said, multiple variations of the leg press to develop that full sweep. And I go right into leg press calf raises. I'm doing my best to keep my toes pointed inward because I'm really trying to hit the outside head of my calf. If you see, I'm really trying to squeeze that calf muscle. I've never been a big calf trainer, but you have to hit them a few times just so they can develop fully, because no one wants chicken legs. I'm going right into set 2. As you see, I'm high, and I'm also wider than my first set of leg press. Take a look. Add it into the repertoire if you're not using it, and then you get to see I'm trying to be pigeon-toed as possible, but it's not natural, so I really have to focus on it. So take a look, guys. Another point of emphasis that I want to show you all is that please do not lock out your knees when you're leg pressing. It's probably the most dangerous, most irresponsible things that you can do when you're underweight and you're in this type of angle, because if you lock out, and it's not a good day, and that weight doesn't stop coming down and your knees bend the wrong way, trust me, I ain't gonna say it's a wrap, but it's a wrap, man. Finishing up this last set, please just don't do it. I go on the walking lunges with the 100-pound dumbbells. I wasn't able to get a full fledged 3 sets, just the time constraints, and it was getting late. I came out to work, but I really wanted to focus on keeping a proper toe to knee ratio. And guys, take a look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what type of workout or what type of video you want to see next. I'll see you guys soon.